everybody, welcome back. Today is day 30 of the Daily Arithmetic Challenge. Okay, on screen for you now are the first 6 questions. Have a go, freeze the screen. There are 4 more on the next slide, 10 in total, and once you've done all of them, we will go through the answers. Okay, time to go through the answers. First question is quite a basic subtraction. For this one, you may not have even needed to have done this one with a method. You probably could have done this one in your head. Remember, in an arithmetic test, you are trying to get through the basic questions as quickly as you can do to give yourself more time to go through the trickier 2-mark questions at the end. So for things like this, if you can do it in your head, that's fine. But I would always recommend if you do a question in your head and you have time left at the end of the test, go back to the questions you didn't use a method for, no matter how basic, and actually solve it using the method, because odds are you'll find that you've just made some sort of silly mistake. Number 22, we've got 600 multiplied by 8, so I would do 6 times 8 and find my answer, which is 48, and then multiply that answer by 100 because I divided 600 by 100 to get to 6 in the first place. Number 23, we have got 15.1 subtract 8.45. Again, the decimal point is your best friend. It helps you get the rest of the numbers into the correct column for their place value. Number 24, we've got 76,119 subtract 50,817. Just use the simple method for that one. It's as easy as it can be, but just remember there is a little bit of exchange in there. You've got 27 multiplied by 62. So again, I always circle the tens number that I'm multiplying by just to remind me that I have to place my 0 there when I'm dealing with it. And once you've multiplied 27 by both 2 and 60, you then add your answers together, and I have got the answer 1,674. The next question is 1/5 multiplied by 1/8. Now this is the only fractions question where you don't need to worry about the fact that you have different denominators. As soon as it's a multiplication of fractions question, you celebrate because it's nice and easy. You just multiply your numerators together, which is 1, and multiply your denominators together, which is 40. So you've got 21 multiplied by 1.5. So what I would separate that out into is 21 multiplied by 1, or 1 multiplied by 21 as I've written it down, which is 21, because remember any number multiplied by 1 is itself. And then I would do half multiplied by 21. Basically, that is just asking us to find half of 21. Now obviously, because 21 is an odd number, it would give us the answer 10.5. But because we're dealing with fractions, instead of writing 10.5, I'm going to write 10.5. Get it back into fractions from decimals. So then I know I've got 21 and 10.5, add the two of them together, and that gives you the answer 31 and 1/2. Number 28, you've got 2/3 add 1/4. So the biggest issue here is it has different denominators. Now what I can do is I can multiply 3 and 4 together to find a common multiple, which is 12. Now to get from the original 3 to 12, obviously I've multiplied by 4, which means I have to multiply my numerator by 4, so 2 4s are 8. And then looking at 1/4, well, to turn the 4 into 12, I've multiplied that by 3, which means I need to multiply my numerator by 3, which is 3/12. And then last but not least, I add them all together, and 8 add 3 is 11, and then your denominator stays the same as 12, so your answer is 11/12. Number 29, 3,267 divided by 11. So for this one, write out your 11 times tables, and then once you've done that, you can solve the division like normal, which should give you the answer 291. I think that's 1. No, it won't be, sorry, it'll be 7. Sorry, I cut the top of the answer after that one. It'll be 297. And finally, 30. We have got 4/7 divided by 2. As soon as you have a division question in fractions, you know that you're going to use the KS2 method. So just to make life a bit easier, I've turned that 2 whole number into a fraction as well, which is 2/1, because I have 2 whole lots of 1. And then I can do KFC like normal, keep the first fraction, which is 4/7, flip the operation symbol, which is from a division to a multiplication, and change the order of the last fraction. So instead of it being 2/1, it's now 1/2, which is a half. And then you just multiply like normal. So you have got 1 times 4, which is 4, and 2 times 7, which is 14, which would be accepted as an answer. Or you may have noticed that you could simplify it because it has both got the 2 times table in common, and then you could simplify it to 2/7.